my super green spaghetti using dark greens, spaghetti, garlic, parmesan, and fresh ricotta cheese. Sometimes you find these little recipes, these bits of inspiration that just blow your mind. And when you bring them home, you can apply them to different vegetables. And I've got a pasta dish that is gonna knock you for 6, well actually for 5. Cavolo Nero, black cabbage. I've been growing it for 10 years. You can get it in the UK, but any cabbage, Savoy cabbage, kale, spinach, broccoli, all of them you could do instead of this. So let's make this dish. Pan of boiling water. Salt goes in. We're gonna go in with about 150 grams of spaghetti. This is enough for 2 people. So this takes 8 minutes to cook. Twist it. Now, while that's going, we're gonna get ourselves 4 cloves of garlic. Simply give your cloves a smack, peel off the skin and pop them in with the pasta. When you boil garlic like this, it kind of takes the aggressive hum and heat out of the garlic. It makes it mild and sweet and actually very, very creamy. So that's rattling away. Then we go over to this brilliant Cavolo Nero. What I'm doing is just grab this little stalk here with your thumb and forefinger and then just pull this. 200 grams is all you need. These leaves are super quick to prep. A pinch and a pull is as tricky as it gets. And then when you've done those, you put them straight into your pasta and the cabbage goes on top and I'll put a little lid like that. So that's going to boil for about 5 minutes, that cabbage, right? Just to tenderise it. So garlic, cabbage, spaghetti. And then I'm just going to grate some parmesan. About 30 grams is absolutely fine. It's going to give it seasoning and it's going to give it amazing flavour and a lovely silky texture. Take the lid off. We've got our liquidizer here. I'm going to just take the Cavolo Nero, pop it in there. You want to make this cabbage go from a frumpy old leaf into the most silky, elegant sauce. I'm going to grab the little garlic cloves. They'll be soft now. And then I'm going to go in with a pinch of salt, pepper, a tablespoon and a half of really good cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. And then we're going to go in with your grated parmesan and just a little lick of cooking water from the pasta, and then watch this. In no time, it will turn into the most vibrant sauce you've ever seen. Look at that. It's nuts. Think about it. Does it need more parmesan? Does it need more salt, pepper? I'm really, really happy with that. I'm then going to take our pasta. It's had its 8 minutes. Drain it until most of the water's gone. And then we're going to go back into the pan and prepare yourself for something very beautiful. We're going to go in with that amazing sauce. A lot of people, they always think, well, if I'm having cabbage or greens, have it with something. But this is something. This is everything. Without the cabbage, this dish is nothing. And it's so nice to put it first. So I'm just going to drag it onto the plate. Look at that. You know, this cabbage is completely helped by all the other ingredients. And at this point, what I do is take ricotta, which is so clean and so fresh. Just 30 grams, and that is a really good carrier of flavours. And as you fold that pasta up, you'll get these little hits of clean ricotta. It's so good. And then one last tiny little brush of parmesan. An amazing pasta, and you know what? You have to try it to believe it. Simple, quick, and super healthy. And once you've tried it, you won't stop. It'll be a regular. So good. It's the big education into simplicity. What's that? 10 minutes, boiling water, crack on, 8 minutes of pasta, whizzy whizzy. What a dish. Insanely uncomplicated. This deliciously awesome veggie pasta is zero fuss food made in minutes. Gorgeous char-grilled escalope pork, amazing marinated new potatoes with beautiful super greens. It's a really gorgeous, healthy dish. I think you're gonna love it. So, let's do it. I've got some lovely free-range pork here. It's one of the more affordable, high-welfare meats. It's low in saturated fat, which is good. It's quite lean. I want to show you a way of tenderising the meat. So, just get yourself a little bit of greaseproof paper. Just going to put this over like this. Give it a nice little bash up. It's tenderised it, and it's also allowed it to cook quicker. It's going to be great. I'm going to flavour it very simply. I am using my pestle and mortar. I'm going to go in with some thyme, but you could use rosemary or any other woody herb. I'm going to go in with a little salt and a little pepper. Got a clove of garlic here as well, and I'm just going to bash that up. And then just a little olive oil, tablespoon. 4 little scrapes of lemon zest. So that we're just going to put onto our pork. Have a little bit of a rub up. That's mega flavour right there. Just a little portion there, very nice. Okay, next up, I've got some lovely new potatoes here, per person, sort of 4 or 5, about 100 grams. New potatoes are great. All the vitamin C is in the skin. So boil the water first, and then plop those potatoes in. I've got a bunch of mint here. The stalks, that goes into the water. That starts to get absorbed in there straight away. Very, very nice. What I'm going to do, guys, is a really, really simple dressing. I only need literally half a lemon for this, and squeeze that into our bowl. This mint here, the centre leaves are like kind of beautiful. They're more like a kind of salad leaf. Pick those out, and then just rip the bigger leaves off, and I'll put them into the dressing. Half a chilli, beautiful. And then just 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, pecorino, just literally 20 grams in there, and that'll season it instead of salt. Is going to be gorgeous. So, let's talk about the beautiful veggies. I'm using frozen peas because they're picked and frozen so quickly, so they're full of nutrients, delicious. This is 80 grams of sprouting broccoli. That's 1 of your 5 a day. Then 80 grams of frozen peas goes in. That's 1 of your 5 a day. And your broad beans as well. We are looking good, guys. Here's the really cool thing about nutrition. Let's say the peas and broad beans. They're really high in vitamin K. Great for your bone health, nice strong bones, and really good for your blood health as well. Okay, they're fat-soluble nutrients. This is geeky, but wait for it. So a little bit of olive oil in the dressing that makes them taste delicious also helps you absorb more of that goodness. And then you've got vitamin C in the potatoes and the veggies as well, and that needs acid. The lemon juice helps you absorb more vitamin C. So basically what I'm telling you guys is a lovely dressing, you know, in moderation, which this is, on your salad or your veggies is a really, really healthy, good thing, and it makes your food taste better. Boom. Now, this only needs 2 minutes cooking. I'm gonna drain this. This griddle pan is nice and hot. We've got no oil on this griddle pan at all, completely dry, okay? This is lightly oiled, okay? That's all you need. So we go in with our pork into the pan, push it down so it gets the benefits of those beautiful bar marks. Fantastic. That's going to take a minute each side. So I'm going to put my veggies into this bowl. I'm going to remove the mint stalks. That, my friends, as a salad in its own right, is a beautiful thing. Just dress them up now. Really, 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 really nice. Gorgeous colours. Just very, very beautiful. Now, we do not want to overcook this pork, okay? So now, look, have a look at this. We've got lovely charring there. We'll move it to the other side, 1 minute maximum. The pork is done. Look how juicy that still is. So we just lay that on top. And some of those lovely little mint leaves over the top. And then last but not least, we only put 20 grams of pecorino in to dress and season those veggies. So you can do a little bit over the top. The pecorino works so well with those lovely veggies. Look at that. Wowzers. Juicy, still charred. The mint, chili, pecorino and the lemon just makes the pork work so, so well. This is a really beautiful breakfast, brunch, lunch, snack. It's full of colour, full of the good stuff, and it's really, really delicious. Stand back for my quick super spinach pancakes. With egg, veg, cheese and chilli, it's an exciting start to the day your taste buds and body will thank you for. So first up, let's make the pancake batter. And it's a really simple recipe. We're not using any scales at all. We're gonna go in to a liquidizer with 1 egg. And then we want 1 cup of milk. Fill it up to the top. In we go. Next, some organic self-raising flour. And fill that right to the top. This will be enough pancakes for 6. A nice pinch of salt. And then to colour it and flavour it, we're going to use spinach. So a bag of spinach, just stuff it right to the top like that. Give it a whiz.
100 grams of baby spinach adds a great punch of vitamin K, helping to maintain our bones.
And the colour is absolutely incredible. So look, as soon as that's nice and smooth, let's think about our topping. So what I want to kind of do is sort of lay it out like a little bit of a pick and mix. So what we got here is some nice cherry tomatoes, little quarters and halves. Then I'm thinking beautiful coriander. So we'll get that stuffed in there. We got more spinach. And then I love avocado. It is a delicious texture. Lime, put some wedges here, and then I'll squeeze just a little bit onto my avocado. And then just slice that. Then we want some spring onions, and we got some cottage cheese. So let's make the first pancake. We got the pan on a medium heat. Then I want to add just a little olive oil, and then I want to wipe it out, and that's just going to make sure that nothing sticks. I'm going to go in with the batter into the middle of the pan, and then just move the pan around and go right up the side. I'm only going to cook the pancake on one side. In a way, this is kind of like a cross between a pancake and almost a wrap. You can see when it's done, when the little sides kind of curl up a little bit. Look at that. It's really, really cool. I then go straight in with a fried egg. We now need to kind of load it up. So take a few little leaves of spinach. We'll take a few of those beautiful tomatoes. Definitely mix it up and have fun with it. Just beautiful. A little kind of shimmer of the spring onions, that limey avocado. And then with the egg, gonna flip it, and then on we go. Gorgeous. Chili sauce, of course, all over the place like that. Just a little squeeze of lime. It's quick, it's colourful, it's definitely not boring. Get in there. Some egg, tomato, the avocado. There's so much flavour in there. The lime, the chili sauce, really easy to make. What a delicious mouthful of goodness. Brilliant. We are going to make the best South American style brunch. It's very healthful, it's very colourful, it's perfect for the summer when you've got beautiful fresh ingredients. I'm going to be heroing this ingredient here, quinoa. This is from Bolivia, Peru. This is one of the earliest cultivated grains on the planet, and it's kind of how you cook it, getting the textures right, and how you dress it. And then you can use it generically, from sweet to savoury, as a side dish, as a salad, as a kind of complementary part of any dish. You're gonna love it. So let me show you this brunch. Very, very nice. Let's start with the quinoa. We're gonna cover it in some water. We're gonna boil it sort of fairly hard. The seed will sort of swell, and then like a little kind of shoot will kind of cook out of it. It will take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. Moving on, black beans. I want to go to kind of crispy. I want to kind of puff and crack it and puff it up. So we're going to go into a hot pan with a little olive oil. I'm just going to put a pinch of cumin. That little pinch there, that's what I love about cooking, man. The tiniest pinch in the world, right, is going to make all the difference. And just put enough black beans in there to fry. Would you like me to clean you? Come here. So let these beans fry a little bit, a little pinch of salt. As soon as they get crispy, we're going to turn that heat off. See how nice and light? They're almost like little peanuts, okay? Once they have got crispy, just put them to one side, like that. You can see the quinoa now just boiling away, and that's fine. It takes about 15, 20 minutes to cook. Okay, chilies. You can just chop them up by all means. Pop them into a little bowl. So a really nice pinch of salt. Then I'm going to cover that with a little bit of sugar, just to sweeten it lightly, and a little bit of vinegar. I'm just going to scrunch that around. Don't worry about the seeds. You can either remove those or just go with it. So I'm literally just going to toss that up. Also, it makes a fabulous chili vinegar, so you don't have to throw any of it away. Oh, by the way, let's talk about quinoa. It is basically low in fat. It's incredibly nutritious, high in iron. It's also high in zinc. It's gluten-free. So really, really good thing. In actual fact, you should really all try it. So the quinoa's had about 20 minutes to cook. You know when it's cooked, when you can just nick a bit, taste a bit. It should be soft and delicious. You can see it's kind of plumped up. We're going to drain that now. The residual heat, the steam, will also help to fluffen it up. Have a little look at it. You can see it's really plumped up. I'm going to lay that out on a tray. Look at that. So as it steams, it will start to kind of get fluffier. It will kind of become lighter, so it's nice and delicate. Olive oil, just a little squeeze of lemon juice, little pinch of salt, and that's a really good basic quinoa. You can use it sweet or savoury. You can use it as a side dish, as a salad. So, pan, on a low heat, couple of fried eggs. I like the way it's kind of crispy on the bottom and just soft and silky on the top. Gonna get that beautiful, nice little pile there. You can see how lovely and light that is. Look at that, very beautiful. Just on the side like that, and of course, I'm gonna just give it a little poke. A nice little pile of the crispy black beans here. Half an avocado. We've got some beautiful tomatoes here. So have a look down the markets, see what you've got available. Mint and coriander. Nice little wodge like that. These chilies, we'll take some of that, and this little vinegar here is gold dust. So we'll just put that over the avocado. Some spring onions do help the story. So there you go, guys, a beautiful brunch of quinoa, crispy black beans, all those wonderful summery things like tomatoes, spring onions, the jalapenos, the avocado, really, really nice. And of course, because we haven't got enough chili in the story already, just a little bit of chili sauce, as well as a little drizzle of olive oil. There you go. Absolutely gorgeous, something a bit different, and a little homage to our South American, Mexican brothers and sisters. Beautiful. If you've never tried it, have a go. So instead of mayonnaise, I'm going to be using really good quality organic yogurt. I'm going to get 4 big tablespoons. We've lost 90% of the sat fats. So we want to still get that lovely Caesar salad vibe. A teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Half a teaspoon of English mustard. I just want 2 fillets of quality anchovies there, finely sliced. So we're going to go in with a fine grater. These are really, really useful for getting off that beautiful zest off the lemon.
You want the juice of half a lemon. A tablespoon of good quality white wine vinegar, followed by 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil.
Then we're going to go with a classic flavour, which is Parmesan. Let's just mix this up. Let's have a taste. Simply, utterly delicious, okay? And in a funny way, if you did a taste test with mayonnaise and quality yogurt, I'm telling you, this is cleaner, more delicious and creamier. Next, veggies.
Slice up a whole romaine lettuce nice and finely. Then I'm adding some chicory, which gives a subtle bitterness that works really well with the Parmesan.
The humble cauliflower. Cut it in half. We'll put it into a mandolin. The best thing to do is use the guard, okay? Keeps the fingers away. Just put it through. Such an everyday vegetable made beautiful simply by a piece of equipment.
Now you want a small red onion sliced up with a mandolin. Get stuck into mixing up the salad with that gorgeous dressing.
So salad looking great. We've got 2 breasts of chicken, about 120 grams. And then I want to just pick a little bit of rosemary. So just use your fist to tenderise it and flatten out the fat part of the breast. It's going to make it more tender. The anchovy tin, it's got some seasoning in there, so I'm just going to go 1 tablespoon.
We're using skinless chicken breast here, which reduces the fat content by about half compared to skin being left on. And we'll need about 4 minutes on each side.
And look at that. Oh! After all these years of cooking, I still get quite excited.
we want croutons. Cut about 1.5 centimetres thick slice of bread into cubes.
Just move them around and let them soak up all the natural fat that's cooking out of the chicken. Doing it in a dry pan like this, you're minimising that fat, you're giving a lot of flavour. The meat's looking great, just let it rest. It'll be much more juicy that way. And then the croutons, keep toasting them until the last minute. You want that hot crunch with the cold salad. It works so well.
Slice up the juicy chicken about 1 centimetre thick. Then load up your plate with the dressed salad and the hot, crispy croutons from the pan.
One stroke of Parmesan, unbelievable. So there you go. It's still delicious, but it's half the calories of a regular Caesar salad. It's just beautiful and delicious. Prawns, butter beans, lemon, chilli, super tasty, super healthy. This is a lovely meal for 4 people, around about 420 calories, so really controlled calories, 2 of your veggies a day, and really tasty, and it's gonna fill you up. And it's a great, fast midweek meal. What's not to love? Well, let's do it. So, whack it on a medium-high heat, slice up some spring onions. 1 bunch, nice and fine. Or use a nice food processor with a little slicer attachment, super efficient. You're gonna get that lovely hum of flavour from the spring onions. 1 or 2 chilies, depending on how spicy it is. I'm just gonna finely slice that. I'm actually not gonna de-seed it because there's a little bit of heat in there and I wanna keep that. We've got 12 beautiful prawns here. I've deveined them. Let me show you how to do that. When you rock the head forward, you can get a pair of scissors and you can just run your scissors down the back. Stick your scissor in, or a knife, and you can pull your vein out. It takes just a few minutes. It cleans the prawn. I actually like to take the shell and the tail off. I know it sounds gross, but if you squash that head, that is where the big flavour is. The big flavour. So if you're a little bit kind of squeamish, then take the head off. But if you love food and life and generally everything that gets your taste buds going, leave the head on. So in this hot pan, we're going to use olive oil. A couple of tablespoons is more than enough. In with the prawns. Nice thing about prawns, really high in vitamin B12. So that's good for your immune system and nervous system. Give it a shake. Look at the colour change straight away. As we're cooking so efficiently, I'm going to just get my nice few slices of bread and toast those on a griddle pan. The prawns are nearly cooked actually. I'm going to let it have a little bit of spring onion and chilli rainfall. Absolutely gorge. We're going to go in now with the mange tout. 4 handfuls. You can use sugar snap peas. We don't want to overcook these greens. I'm kind of keeping this Mediterranean. I just happen to be using a wok. You could do this in a paella pan. So look, that's had a minute. And then I'm going to go in with 2 tins of drained butter beans. Wonderful source of protein. And they really suck up flavours beautifully. I've got 500 grams of lovely tomatoes, different sizes, shapes, colours. Just hack them up. You can hear now the pan has stopped frying because the moisture has come out of the butter beans. So it's kind of steaming in there now, which is no bad thing. Feel free to sort of like make this your own. If you wanted asparagus in there, all good. If you wanted to put a nice handful of frozen peas in there or broad beans, really, really good. I'm going to throw in the tomatoes, beautiful colours. A little bit of seasoning, salt and pepper. Our toast is done. Just get a piece of garlic. A couple of little rubs of this will make all the difference. Sort of Spanish, Greek, Turkish, Italian, very nice. We're into about 5 minutes of cooking. It's pretty much done. Parsley, just gonna finely slice that, and the delicate stalks as well. Put some lovely lemon zest in there, it's so fresh. 1 or 2 lemons, depending on how juicy they are, look at that. The thing I love about this cooking, it's really good fun to do. It all happens pretty much in one pan, so simple. Have a little taste. Oh, the lemon juice and the chilli is so good. Get a nice big platter, this is how I like to do it. Put the toast on the bottom. If you want to be pretty about it, you can kind of put them on the side. But I love, once I've done that, just putting these herbs in. Look at that, guys. 5 minutes work, hot, steamy, big flavour. Super fast, nutritious food, really colourful, really fresh. I've got a curry for you that's going to blow your mind. It's so beautiful, colourful, quick, tasty. It's going to surprise people. This, my friends, is a tomato curry. Yep, you heard right, a tomato curry.
Fear not, lovely people, this dish is packed with fragrant herbs and spices and cooked in a creamy coconut sauce.
So first up, let's just talk about tomatoes for a bit, because when I grew up, it was just like your regular plum tomatoes. And the case is now, we've got choice, look at that. I've got 1.2 kilos, different colours, different shapes, different sizes. Life is exciting. So what I need to do first is blanch the tomatoes so that skin can come off, so that the tomato is able to absorb more flavour. And if you just run your knife around the top like that, you'll remove that core. And then boiling water here for about 45 seconds. If you look in the water, can you see how the skin is just shrinking back? And then get them into a little dish. We'll cool it down pretty much straight away. What you can do is literally just squeeze it and out it comes. Absolutely perfect.
Let's talk curry base. Peel and chop 2 chilies, 4 centimetres of ginger and 4 cloves of garlic.
And of course you can just whack all this in a food processor. But I love doing this old school, all by hand, from scratch, because it's so straightforward and simple. And then I've got one ingredient that is a game changer. These are curry leaves. And you get them in good supermarkets, farmers markets. You get them in areas, of course, where there's a large Indian, Sri Lankan population. Find them.
Whack them in some olive oil and add in a teaspoon of cumin seeds, mustard seeds and fenugreek.
What we're going to now do is create layer upon layer of flavour. I'll cut it into quarters. So just click off the petals. We're not going to put a big hunk of meat in here, right? So we need the veggies to have bigger textures. You know, the vegetables are the hero. So let's treat them as such. And we can add these lovely fragrant flavours. So at this point, we're going to go in with our tomatoes. Look at the way the spices just stick.
Then just a couple of things to finish off. 2 teaspoons of mango chutney for sweetness and a tin of coconut milk.
So 20 minutes with the lid on, just a gentle simmer to get all those flavours going. I'll have a little clean down. This will be ready and raring to go. So now let's just reduce that down to a consistency that you like, maybe 5 minutes. But that is a very humble, beautiful, beautiful curry. And there's an optional extra that you can do to take it into another sort of stratosphere, and that is using saffron.
These little stamens from the crocus flower will give the curry the most delicious floral honey-like flavour.
It's an amazing thing. And that tiny little bit of effort actually really does make all the difference. So look, we're all done, ready to serve up. I'm then going to take this beautiful curry. Plenty of juice, guys. Look at that. A few toasted flaked almonds. And that, my friends, is the incredible tomato curry. Let's do it. Plenty of colour. Let's get amongst it. Wow. Every time you think you've tasted it all, it keeps on giving flavour and flavour and flavour. You have to have a go at this, because what you can get from a handful of humble vegetables is phenomenal. Hi guys, hope you're well. Okay, we are doing jam jar salads. This is the principle that in your working days at work, you could be only having delicious, healthy food. We want to have all the elements of a balanced plate. So also we want to get it there. You know, if you put the dressing at the top, it's going to make everything soggy. So there's a kind of order that we can do. Lovely, complex carbohydrates. Dressing and dairy, 2 or 3 of your 5 fruit and veg a day. Yes, this is good stuff. Proteins, we've got nuts. They're completely nutritionally balanced. We have an Italian one. We've got an Indian one here. Crunchy poppadoms at the top. Always crunchy things at the top. and wet things like the dressing down at the bottom so it doesn't kind of go soggy. We want that. We've got a Moroccan one. All of these things that I'm going to talk about are under 600 calories. So I'm going to do a British inspired one. The glass is beautiful. Also, you've got Tupperware and plastic stuff here. So first up, carbs. Now you can swap this out for rice, whole wheat couscous, pasta, you name it. About 75 grams of any carb. Pearl barley is great because it's very, very British. It's going to release energy nice and slowly, so it's going to keep you full up for longer. Next up, beets. These are raw. Just give them a wash, grate them. You get amazing colour. The whole point of these jam jar salads is that it shouldn't take any more than about 3 minutes to put together. Just grab and go. So in with our beets at the bottom, so it's not going to colour anything else underneath it other than the pearl barley. We need to do a dressing now. Extra virgin olive oil. Don't forget, it's 120 calories per tablespoon, okay? Now, I know you're hearing that from me, who loves extra virgin olive oil, but then we're gonna go zero fat organic yogurt. 2 tablespoons. As it's zero fat, it's kind of giving you the ability to use the extra virgin olive oil and a quality one at that. We want it to be purely beautiful and balanced and healthy. We want a pinch of salt and pepper, a nice heaped teaspoon of grated horseradish from the jar, a little squeeze of lemon juice, just to give it a nice little zing. It's really, really good. We can put a few more beets in there. Spinach, watercress, very, very British. Then we can go in with our protein. This is top side of beef, so it's really lean. About 70, 80 grams is perfect. A little bit more spinach and watercress, really pack that in. A lovely red apple, that will go brown. And a way to fix it is just a little squeeze of lemon juice and give it a little toss around. You can see even that little bit of beetroot. Look at how that's changed the colour straight away. Pop it in, push it down. There we go. Walnuts are actually one of the kings of the nut world. 4 is all you need, good for heart health. Sprinkle that on top. Okay, lovely people, so we have done my expression of a British jam jar salad. We've got fruit, we've got veg, we've got nuts. Let's make work lunches count. Let's get office envy up. So you asked me what's a brilliant summertime recipe that you can make without firing up the oven, full of the good stuff, and is really affordable. So I've got a beautiful meal for you. This is bigging up tin chickpeas, a fantastic source of protein, one of your 5 fruit and veg a day, and a brilliant value product that you can do so much with. So we're gonna do flatbreads with homemade hummus, homemade slaw, feta cheese. This is a brilliant brunch, lunch, snack, and when you make this, you're gonna have a lot of fun doing it. Let's start with the homemade flatbreads. I've got a bag of spinach. I'm going to take most of it and put it into a liquidizer. Now, you can use a food processor if you want. So the rest of the spinach I will put just over here, and we're going to make a slaw out of this. We're going to put in here 100 grams of yogurt. It gives it an amazing flavour. It makes it really fluffy. Have a nice little pinch of salt in there. Steal a little tablespoon of starchy water and then we'll whiz it up. That's what we're going to make the flatbread out of. Super simple, and it's going to look really, really impressive. So literally 30 seconds, you turn it into this vivid green. I'm going to use self-raising flour, okay? Now self-raising flour is really helpful because it's got the raising agent in there already. I'm going to use 200 grams to make a little well in the middle like that. So get all of that in. Now, of course, you don't have to do the spinach, but for me, using vegetables in unexpected ways is really, really interesting. Move it around. You can see the flour thickening it up, kind of turning a bit more doughy. You know, you can really use this in many, many ways, and that's why I love this recipe. Now, feel the dough. If it's a little too wet, then just add a little bit more flour. And what you want to have is a nice elastic dough that's not sticky when you touch it. I get rid of the fork now, give it a little knead just for 2 minutes, and that is the simplest dough ever. So we'll let that rest for a little bit. Now in our dirty liquidizer, we're gonna make the hummus, right? So don't bother washing it up, that's just gonna waste time. In we go with a tin of chickpeas with about 80% of the liquid. So instead of using tahini, which you can use of course, a better cheat is a non-sweetened tablespoon of peanut butter. It works really, really well. Tahini is incredible, but a lot more people have peanut butter hanging around the house. I'm gonna use lemon juice. If you've got a little box grater or a little grater like this, use the fine side just to put that lovely zest, use every last bit of flavour. So we're going to go in with 1.5 lemon juice there. I want it to be fresh and zingy. Often you'll see garlic in a traditional hummus. This isn't traditional. A nice pinch of salt and a little pepper, drizzle of olive oil, and that's going to be delicious. Have a little taste. Just check the lemon juice, very happy, and the seasoning, I'm very happy. And look at this, silken, gorgeous hummus, often used as a dip. There's so much more you can do with it. It's fantastic with roasted meats, obviously meze, antipasti, that kind of vibe. If you wanted to, you could swap the chickpeas out for other tinned beans, borlotti beans, cannellini beans, mixed beans. They're all incredibly cheap. Look at that, beautiful. Let's get on with the flatbread. Now, what I've got is a large pan on a medium-high heat. This is a low cook recipe. So thinking about nutrition, thinking about cost, this is under £1 a portion. Take this lovely dough, cut it in half into 4, like that. And then each one of these 4, you can roll into a little ball. Doesn't matter if you do it badly. Flour the board, push it out as much as you can. We're gonna make the best flatbreads. And the crispiness, the softness, the kind of mop-up ability of a homemade flatbread when you knock it out yourself, instead of reheating something else, is different gravy. So roll it out about sort of 4 millimeters, hot pan. That should cook in like 2 minutes, super quick. So what I love about this recipe is you turn the humble tin of chickpeas into something exciting. You turn a bag of spinach into something completely unexpected. So this is the only cooking that we're doing. It's fast, it's furious, it's fun, and we don't need the oven on. If you wanted to do this, by the way, on a barbecue, brilliant. You have a little stack of flatbreads and just do them to order as you're serving your guests. They'll love it. So there you go, flatbread's done. Easy, right? So let's now do a beautiful homemade slaw. So carrots, apples, tiny handful of spinach. So you could use a box grater, but if you want to kind of make it feel texturally more delicious, just peel and don't stop peeling, right? Then just gather up the carrot in little layers like a pack of cards. We're just going to slice it, and what you get is very elegant strips of carrot. Beautiful. I'm going to do the spinach next, and you can use kale, you can use white cabbage, red cabbage. So that little bit of spinach, beautiful. And then I'm going to do the apples last, and we'll stack it up again, and it's taking that everyday apple and just making it a little bit more special. If you put a little lemon juice on the apple, that will stop it browning. So squeeze on the other half, that last half of lemon juice. And you could, of course, use lime juice, grapefruit juice, any citrus. A nice little pinch of salt, a little drizzle of olive oil. Dress this slaw. So let's put it together. I've got a lovely flatbread here, vivid green. I've got the homemade hummus here. If you like the stuff that's done for you already, this is going to blow your mind. I like to make a little well in the middle, and then I hit it up with some of that amazing slaw, just like that. Beautiful. But feta cheese just crumbled on the top. Look at the colours. You know this is good for you, and it is good for you. And then I'll take a little bit of that lemon zest. Remember the lemon zest that might have gone in the bin, right? We took that off, and just having a little sort of sprinkle of that, I think is really, really nice. Just a little bit of olive oil, and optional, but a little bit of chili sauce for me makes my day. It's gonna make me very, very happy. Healthy, affordable, fun to make, and bigging up chickpeas. So that's a recipe just like you asked for. Tear it up, mop up the juices. It's so tasty. That hummus is so silky and delicious, and although it's not authentic, it is really, really good. Hello, lovely people. Okay, we're gonna do an amazing soup that I learned inspiration of a trip I had to Costa Rica, and we went to this incredible area and they had this black bean soup with beautiful eggs poached in it at the last minute. Incredible, with tortillas and a little salsa. Really healthy. It's got 3 of your 5 a day, and it's packed full of the good stuff. So very simply, get some celery and just strip it into little lengths like this, and then we're gonna just roughly chop it into like centimetre dice. In a pan, we're going to use a Dutch oven like this, put it on a medium heat. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to go in with the celery. Then we're going to go in with the garlic. And then as you're adding these flavours, the smell is amazing. We're going to get some thyme here. You could use oregano if you wanted to. Then we're going to go in with the 2 little bay leaves, okay? These go in. Fragrance, beautiful. Then we're going to go in with 2 finely chopped onions. I'm using red onions, but of course you could use white onions or even leeks if you wanted to. I like the idea of a little kick, a little spice to it. So I'm going to add just a little bit of chilli. About half a chilli goes in. Then peppers. We love our peppers. I just get my thumbs and push in this little stalk, and then I pull it up like that. So remove the seeds, roughly chop the peppers into kind of centimetre chunks. A nice little pinch of seasoning goes in. While that's frying, I'm going to get on with a kind of kicker. Okay, so let's have a little look at that. We've got a bowl here, and we want to make a kind of salsa. Okay, so I've got a small bunch of coriander here. I want to use the top half for my salsa, and this bottom half, the stalks, they're nice and clean. We're going to finely slice that, okay? You know, the stalks have got loads of flavour, don't throw them away. So they go in, beautiful. And then the leaves are going to go in my funky little salsa. I'm just going to roughly chop the leaves like that. And then I'm going to take some chilies. It could be like a jalapeno, it could be a red chili, you know, it really can be anything you like. I'm going to take a little bit of lime juice. I'm using these different coloured chilies just because I've got them. The chilies go in, the coriander goes in, then we're going to go in with the juice of 1 lime. Then all I want to do is add a little swig of olive oil, okay? And a pinch of salt. And then just use a little spoon to mix that up. It's very, very simple, guys. So we've got 800 grams of tinned or Tetra Pak beans, black beans going in. Of course you can use any beans, but black beans are actually the highest protein beans that you can get. Look at that, look at the colour, juice and all. I'm going to go in with about 400 mils of water. Right, we'll bring this to the boil and let it thunder along and boil hard for 10 minutes. This dish I had cooked for me, a little area of Costa Rica called the Nicoya Peninsula. These lovely ladies, sort of in their 50s, cooked it with me. And they cooked it for their dad, who was 106 years old. Let's turn it down now. Gentle, 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 gentle. Let's take out the bay leaf, so they easily come out. It's done its job now, fragrance, so we can get rid of that. And then I'm going to use a little hand blender and just blitz up. So look, I've just blitzed like a quarter of it, okay? And what you get is this. You've got chunks, but also you've got smoothness and kind of comfort there as well. So a little bit of both. So at this point, we're gonna have a little taste. Oh, have a think. God, it's good. Adjust your seasoning. And then I want it to be on a gentle heat here. So I'll turn that right down. And then we're gonna go in with our eggs. And very simply, crack, and in it goes. And you're going to poach that egg in that soup. Then we've got tortillas, and we can toast these, we can put them on a griddle pan, or you can just put it on a gas hob just to warm them through. Okay, it takes seconds. So let's serve this up, this wonderful hearty dish. There's your egg, just like that. Couple of ladles of your soup, and then go in with the egg bomb on top. Boom. You want to add that flourish with this salsa. A little drizzle of olive oil. Right, let's have a little look at this egg. Cut in there. Oh, yes. And then just chop it up. Get your tortilla. So good. Till next time, take care.